Hello everyone and welcome to my second game development log about stealth. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for the first views. It wasn't that much, but it was more than I had expected before, so it's pretty cool stuff already, thank you. So this week went pretty good. I made some great progress in a few points, but before I start with that, I wanted to quickly talk about Discord's newest announced of their store. They're going to introduce a full working game store where you can buy games but also manage all your games at one place, no matter if you bought them at Steam, Origin, Uplay or whatever. So they're planning it to be a launcher for every game out there, no matter where you bought it, which is pretty cool. The only thing I hope though is that they are going to keep the same relations to their developers, as I am one of the lucky developers who works with Unreal Game Bridge, which is a tool set where you can implement Discord voice chat in games, and I work with that on another project, and I really hope they don't axe anything because that destroy a lot of progress we had. Also, I'm a bit concerned whether they are actually going to have full success with selling games, because most of the people would probably stick to Steam for being the #1 game distribution platform out there currently, and for the most of them Discord might stay a chat-only application, and I'm not sure where I would position my opinion on that yet, but we'll see what the future brings. Alright, I made some UI progression now. So UI features a pixel-perfect border around elements, and I did that before using simple UMG brushes with a 1 pixel border, but the result wasn't very clear and it wasn't pixel perfect, which was my biggest problem. If you did change the resolution of the game or move the mouse, the components became weird, so I decided to change that, and now they look super crisp. And for everyone who is actually interested in how I did that, Unreal's UI system is called Slate, and they have a custom draw technique, or everything you see is drawn using Slate draw elements, and I basically dig down in the source code and created my own Slate draw element to actually draw lines around a widget like a simple box, and it works pretty good. The weather this week was great, so I had lots of walks in the park too, trying to get my head free from some coding and get some fresh air, because an open window is just not enough and nature's beautiful, so hey. I also tinkered around with procedural foliage, which I'm going to need at a point so the outdoor levels look great. But I really just figured out that your computer can terribly crash if you crank the intensity values up too much. I think I had spent 30 minutes of unsaved work and then my computer crashed and I completely had to reboot it. That wasn't very fun, but I'm going to need them at some point, so yeah, I'll have to revisit them at some point, yes. The biggest work I did this week was XML parsing for the contract display. I wanted the contract window to be rich formatted, which means we got a window and text has different colors like you have in an editor for forums, or even in Discord if you chat something and mark something as italics or something like that. So I want the contract window to have objectives, money and stuff highlighted in a different way. And I also want to have some custom images and widgets between the text, maybe. Like, I had this idea lying around of having a map, like a map in the contract display where you can see a pin and the location where this house is located, which would be randomly generated. So with the rich text, how I implemented it, I integrated an XML interpreter which first tokenizes my text into different little pieces. So I have one big text and it just goes ahead and splits it into, okay, this is a text, this is an image, this is a red text and green text, something like that, and then convert these pieces into string readable by the rich text widget, which is already in Unreal but experimental. So yeah, the way that will work is using contract templates, which are pre-written, so I'm going to take myself a time off and write some of these templates, and yeah, but the items, amount of money, locations, and contractors probably too will generate randomly, so every contract is different. Only the template, the overall story of this contract will stay the same. But if I write a lot of these templates, it will be very diverse, and I'm also thinking about, I don't know, a workshop maybe where people can do that on their own. But if you got any cool ideas or anything, if you're a story writer and you have cool ideas, make sure to shoot me them, because that's pretty cool stuff, really. Yes, and that is going to do it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you got any feedback, shoot them into the comment section. join my Discord, contact me on Twitter, or I don't know, send me a postal card or something. And I'm going to enjoy the weather once again. It is sunny now outside. The rain from yesterday has gone away. So yes, there's one thing left to say. See you guys next week.